Came under one of the seats in the front row, like a gift certificate for a free year of like registration fees, athletic fees, whatever, and people to sit in that front row.
I usually do. I don't want to.
Are we doing?
Well, we did, it's under the administrators today.
I got it.
Yes. We're gonna both read, but.
So, So we had a motion at 6:43 from Dustin, seconded by Matt to come out of closed session. Now we need to have a.
So all in favor to come out of closed session?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, so moving along to the approval of the agenda.
There are a couple of changes, perhaps, or there's one change that may not have been publicized on Friday. It's under consent agenda. So we're adding Marcia Fisk as a substitute food service worker under hires. Other than that, I think the agenda is good to go.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor, is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving along to approval of the previous minutes.
The motion is that the Board of Education approves the minutes of the September 18th, 2023 meeting as presented.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Okay,
Consent agenda, the motion is to approve the consent agenda as presented, including the hiring of Jason Banks as fifth grade boys basketball coach, Marcia Fisk as substitute food service worker, Trisha Ostendorf, did I say that right?
Yes.
1-to-1 aide at Morrison Junior High, and Mills library aide at Morrison Junior High, and Kim Strait as paraprofessional at Southside Elementary.
do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call?
Colbert.
Yes.
Stevenson,
Yes.
Cromwell,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Shamrock,
Yes.
Angleton,
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes. Okay, moving along to communication, public comments.
No one signed up to speak?
All right, good news from around the district.
On behalf of Northside, I'd like to thank anybody that came up to the book fair and bought a book. In total, a little over $4,500 worth of books were bought from the book fair. So much.
Andy, can you speak up? Just so
Oh, I'm
people-
sorry.
people can hear.
Over $4,500 worth of books were purchased from the book fair. So many books and so much money was made that every student was able to pick out every student in the building got to go up and pick out another book from the book fair the following week because we made so much money for Scholastic. They let every kid
Wow,
pick
that's
out a
great.
book. So
That's really
about 250 extra books went home the following week.
Wow,
nice.
that's great.
Matt, is there something you'd like to highlight from your report?
I wanted to highlight the Knights of Columbus. They made a donation of $800 to our district. It's used for special education funds. So we have 8 special ed teachers in the district, so each of them got $100 to use in their classroom.
Awesome.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Robbins?
I'm good.
No. Tell them something. It's not a choice anymore. We're trying to convey stuff home.
On the spot. Well, we have our book fair coming up soon, the week of parent-teacher conferences. So that's that first week in November. It's always a good thing for us as well. So we're able to get quite a few books for our library. So that's coming up soon.
David?
Our September staff member of the month was Mr. John Etnier. So I shared that out. I'll share that each week with staff and students through email. John has been a paraprofessional in the district at the high school for 17 years. So we're lucky to have him.
What was his lunch choice?
He went with McDonald's. I gave him anything he wanted. He requested a double cheeseburger. He got a double quarter.
Can't believe I've never done this before, but I think it's important to recognize our staff members that are here tonight. So we have, for those of you who don't know, you don't have to stand up. We have Jenny Williams and Dana Bass, our pre-K teachers. Amber Wright is our fourth grade at Southside. Karen Mayberry, reading interventionist at Northside. Matt, sorry. And Mrs. Harmon, everyone knows art. So I think we should recognize them if they take time out of their day to come and visit with us. So, okay.
Thanks for coming.
Yes. What's next?
Moving along to our reports.
Okay. All right. So finance and facility, you have your monthly expenditure reports, your treasurer's report, your 5-year comparison. Everything seems to be on par with where we're supposed to be at this point. In terms of facilities, junior high and Northside HVAC project is in a delay. We're expecting shipments of those materials in early November, with installation taking place over Thanksgiving break when no one's in the buildings because they have to bring a big crane out and load everything on the roof. We did see some HVAC issues last week when we switched from AC to heat at the high school. The dishwasher at Morrison High School has been ordered. We are talking, and I guess this would be the appropriate time. We've been talking quite a while for the replacement of the walk-in freezer. I don't have it as a action item, but this has the full recommendation of the Finance and Facility Committee. So if there's no concern, I would like to move forward with that and then bring that back for formal approval next month. Does anyone have any concern with replacing that freezer? Yeah. I'll go ahead and get working on that, and then I'll bring a formal action item. We will be using bond dollars or 1-cent sales tax dollars for that. Other than that, the other thing to keep in mind is our annual health, life, safety inspection is going to be held on October 23rd. That's done by the ROE. That's not our big 10-year where they come in and dissect the building. So that's something that's coming up within the next couple of weeks. In terms of enrollment, we are at 992 students. So we're up 6 students from last year, last month, and 1 student from this time last year. Quietly creeping up to that 1,000 student mark. Parent advisory. This is a new committee that was started. There's some information there. Don't want to read it verbatim, but we did have our informational meeting on October 2nd. The meeting was attended by about 16 parents in total, very well attended. Our 2 co-chairs are here if they want to introduce themselves.
I'm Jen Vandermolen. I'm Chantal Hume.
They've been working diligently. We've been working over the last couple of months to get this up and running. So they've already met with the principals twice regarding the purpose, bylaws, those types of things. Our next step is to select co-chairs board. We're going to have 1 representative from each building. We had 18 applicants to choose from, some very good candidates. So we'll be finalizing that hopefully this week. We did have a discussion about at our meeting on the 2nd some issues, and Chantal and Jennifer are putting together responses for that. Part of the way this is going to work is it'll be an open meeting for any parent that wants to attend or any citizen that wants to attend as an open communication for issues in the district. We will not answer 99.9% of the questions that are brought that night because we want to make sure that we research them and provide them with an accurate. There might be a softball or 2 here or there that I could answer, but for the most part, we want to make sure that we get them the right answer. So as you can see there, some of the issues that were brought up, possibility of adding some clubs, some teams, bus issues on the bus, welcome packets for new students, both to the district and to the building. So when a student goes from Northside to Southside, kind of an informational packet. In talking with Jennifer, we have a lot of that in our focus, but I was surprised, but the focus is not as well known as it used to be. So we're going to talk about how to repackage that and probably come up with a different name. For those of you that don't know what the focus is, the focus goes out every July. It provides parents with a ton of information, some of the things that were brought up at the meeting. It's just one of those things that if you don't know about it, you didn't know to go look for it. And
Is it mailed?
it used to be mailed, but it was super expensive because it's like a
Yeah, I
newspaper.
remember I used to get it.
So now we put it online.
Gotcha.
And it's about 50 pages of information and things like that. So we're going to work and streamline that with Tori. Tori does that every year, so she's gonna hate me, but we're gonna rework that. And then the last thing I had on that report is we're gonna be adding a link on the website. I'm thinking we're gonna put a comment and concern form that will then come right to the board, not this board, but the Parent Advisory Committee board. And I'm also thinking that when we get to it, or we have more time, is we'll put some documents and things up like that so people can read our bylaws and those types of things. I believe you all have a copy of the bylaws, or I shared those with you at one point, maybe a couple weeks ago. And those have been forwarded to the attorney for him to review. Do you guys want to add anything?
I had a question, quick. So if there are questions, like people, had different things in this meeting, how does it then get relayed to them with the answers, or so the public knows those answers?
So the questions or the concerns from the previous meeting become the agenda for the next meeting.
Oh,
And
okay.
there will also be a paper handout or newsletter that I'm hoping we can email to all parents so the information
Yes.
is widespread. And it will also hopefully be a hard copy if you come to the meeting.
And we'll put the minutes on the website like we do with our board meeting. Trying to mirror some of our policies and procedures, this board with that board.
Right. That makes sense.
And these two ladies have been fantastic, so they have done a lot of the legwork. Huge thank you to them. Any other questions from the board? And one of them will be here at every meeting, probably both of them. And at some point, I'm gonna have them do the report.
Great idea.
It's gone really well. The
Yeah,
turnout from
it's
it's been
gone.
incredible.
Oh,
to be
that's
honest with
great.
you.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Got a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Scott's not gonna like us.
We're already going to do that.
The first year we were up, after that, I definitely think this is gonna be a huge positive for the district, so I'm super excited. And like I said, can't thank these two enough for their hard work. So,
Teacher advisory.
Teacher advisory, okay. Another newish committee, we used to have a committee called Ongoing Communications. That was kind of discontinued a while ago, but we brought it back in the form of teacher advisory. This is where I sit down, myself and another administrator. This month it was Mr. McCormick, to talk with the staff about what's going on in the district, share concerns with them, kind of have a roundtable discussion with them as well. So you can see there, those were the minutes, some discussion on carpet cleaner for kindergarten rugs, which has been purchased. We will be looking at a Southside science curriculum. They were wondering about science or social science. Since we do take the science assessment, the Illinois Science Assessment, we're going to look at science first. The other important one, or one of the most important ones, is parent-teacher conferences for next year. The issue with that is, and it was kind of brought up, your question today in finance and facility is with high school grade.
Yeah.
If you wait until the 1st of November, you're already past for high school specifically, that first quarter. So there's not a lot of, nothing you can necessarily do to fix that first quarter grade. So, and then if you wait till November, just the way the calendar works, we're hardly in school in November with Thanksgiving and
Election Day.
Veterans Day, all of that, all that stuff. So the high school staff thought about, could we maybe do it earlier, right on Columbus Day? And then we had a very good discussion about, it doesn't necessarily have to be every building on one night in the district. So we're going to work on looking at how we can maybe make that work. The way it works now is we have half day on Thursday, conferences from noon to 8, and then we have conferences from 8 to noon the next day, and then teachers are free. That's their trade-off. By working till 8, they get the afternoon. So the trade-off in this case would be one designated day, one Friday, where the district is shut down. We just pick a Friday and say, okay, as a thank you or as a reward for doing 2 nights of conferences to 8 o'clock, the district we're off on this Friday. So we're working on that right now. The elementary staff felt as though the time frame that it is probably sufficient for them because they're still getting to know their students.
Sure.
High school, the longer you wait, the more damage is done. So we also kind of talked about, Wendy, maybe if you want to, junior high and high school one night, south side, north side, a different night, something along those lines.
I guess my only thought is, with Skyward, it's so much different. Like I can track the kids' grades daily. So if parents are having concerns,
Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk?
I mean, that's
I
just.
just,
No, you're absolutely right. This
I'm
comes back to
noticing
her- her-
from
her
high
question.
school, it sometimes 2 or 3 weeks before I see a grade.
Okay.
And so now all of a sudden, we have
Well,
a C.
kudos to the junior high staff. That's where my kids are at. I mean,
Yeah.
they are on top of it.
And like, I get it, and back in the day, my parents couldn't even see my grades till I was handed a report card, so I'm trying to, understand that, but also, work with my kid who's not the most.
I think,
He's a
at the
teenager.
high school level, I think they do a lot more projects.
Sure, yeah,
And so kids may turn it in and then
And they may not do an
teachers
assignment.
may
every
not,
day.
the teachers may not have it graded for 2 weeks because
right.
it's an essay or it's
Yeah.
a project. I mean, sometimes that's why it is 2 weeks.
Yeah, understood.
I
The high school is a
think,
different animal in its entirety, no
It is.
matter what you look at, so.
and I think a
I
lot
don't
of
see that
parents
as a bad thing.
aren't informed on how Skyward works because, let's face it, I mean, we're not all technically advanced. I mean, I don't use Skyward because I let my wife handle all that. But like, I think if we did conferences earlier for the high school and set up times for parents to come in and even walk them through Skyward. So at least then they would, they could upload it to their phone. That way they've all been given that, that spiel of,
I just started using it this year and I found it
I know.
extremely easy.
well, good for you. That makes one of us. But I'm just saying it would, if a lot of people say that, well, I didn't know how to use it.
Well, why couldn't we do that like in the beginning of the school year, like an orientation? Have like somebody set up or a couple of tables set up
We've done
teaching
that
them?
before.
People don't.
But they won't come unless they say it's served food. I mean, that's.
Well, serve food then, I don't care.
But
You need something else.
if you make, because I've been at my previous schools, we've had 99% parent turnout for conferences because every teacher takes their homeroom and sets up a meeting with every single parent. And then all the other teachers do a write-up for every kid.
Right.
And so, if you get 99% of the parents through that, you can also sneak in a little technology too.
Yes, you can.
So,
I still believe in feeding them though.
Well, my only question is, your latest proposal has, like, you said, closing the district down or having a day off that will affect the school calendar by making us.
we've always done that.
So there are certain parameters from school code that allow you to take, how you do conferences. So we would have to work within that.
As long- I'm just saying.
So if you work, so for example, if you work long enough, people have homework. So the way it currently is set up, Friday is counted as a day of attendance even though the kids aren't here.
Right.
Because you've met certain criteria for teachers working. So yes, you are correct in what you're saying. So we would have to work within that to make sure it counts as a day towards the calendar, even though they may not be here. Does that make sense?
But we don't do
I did not
Veterans
know
Day
that.
off
Okay.
because of the way the conferences fall. So I guess, yeah.
That's fine.
Teachers work an extra 8 hours, so you have to.
Yeah, I did.
Doing a calendar is not as an easy thing as it
No, I
sounds.
imagine.
Miss Tori's snarking back there because she's heard me yell at the computer many times. Old business.
Okay, moving on to old business. We have the Morrison District Search and Seizure Procedures.
The motion is the Board of Education approves the district search and seizure procedures as presented, and I did make that correction.
Yeah, I see that.
Suggested or something.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
How are you planning on distributing this throughout the district, throughout the staff, making sure that people are aware?
Principals have a copy of it. I will send a copy out to everybody in the district. I'll email it out to everybody.
Just want to make sure that everybody's aware that this is there.
Maybe a building meeting that they can walk them through everything.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. The teacher vacancy grant update.
Teacher vacancy grant. We had 4 individuals fill out a form of interest. We've done a little bit more research. In order to work with the Bloom Board company, Candidates need to either have 60 hours of college credit or a associate's degree. Both of our non-certified staff have expressed interest, one in the elementary education program and the other one in the special ed program, qualify for that. So our next step is to set up a Zoom with them to talk with the Zoom board about how they go about that. The rest of the money is more than likely going to be used to give retention grants to current staff members in a amount of money to be determined. So they'll get a little bump in their end of the year bonus for all the current staff.
Okay. Is there like a pot of gold that the principals are able to draw from to put on like a donut Friday for staff or like?
I would possibly, I'd have to look more in terms of the language of the grant.
T-shirts.
I don't know.
But I mean, it's nice, like,
No, I think it's a great idea.
Morrison, you know.
like we did cinnamon rolls.
But each building also has a general fund in there that they can do that stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, moving along to new business, we have the Morrison High School boys swimming.
Mrs. Henson believes that there are approximately 8 high school boys who are interested in swimming. Now, we have not had an on-site swimming program for the last several years due to low enrollment numbers, so we've been co-oping with Sterling. In my conversation with Mrs. Henson, I heard a rumor that there was some interest from some kids in other schools. My personal feeling, and I don't mean to sound negative, is that I don't feel as though we field a team for other school students. But Mrs. Henson has given me the name of 8 high school boys who are interested. Now, I can't guarantee they're going out, but I said I would put it on as a discussion item. Maybe Mrs. Harmon can add to this conversation.
Yeah. So there's 8 confirmed boys from Morrison that will go out for high school swimming.
I
And
do
then-
have one question though. One of the names she gives me is not in Skyward.
Who?
One of the names that she gave me is not in
He gets to
Skyward.
the name.
Oh, okay, you'll have to ask me later. And then one, I'm not sure, she was gonna try and get a hold of him, the 9th boy, but I
I
think,
also told one wanted to wrestle.
yeah, and he since has been swimming, so who knows?
Okay.
But
Okay, so
They're high school.
we'll
So
go 7.5 right now.
I guess my point was, I'm sorry, you keep going.
And that would be Morrison high schoolers. And then, yes, there was discussion from some of the other boys, maybe next year from other towns.
We can't
that
do a
would be
co-op
interested. Right. You'd have to relook at that, but
So where are these other ones from?
Erie. Erie.
That'd be great.
Yeah, they're the cross-country team over there.
Yes,
That
they
was
have a
like
very
also
large
new.
cross-country team.
So when does the season start?
Winter season, and I don't know if swimming is the same date, is October 30th.
No, it would be, and like 3rd week in November.
Okay.
That's
Well,
when it-
IHSA
that's when it
calendar,
starts?
winter sports for IHSA calendar is October 30th. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, so the girls swimming ends 2nd week in November, and then the boys will start a week later. And then we do have, I believe, someone interested in coaching, so.
Because what's the threshold on the team that we had? 5, okay. So. Yeah.
Can I ask a maybe off-top question? How many do we have for basketball right now? Do we know?
What?
That have shown interest in basketball for varsity or high school?
Probably about 14 or 15 on the sign-up sheet in the office. That's 9 through 12. One freshman, 3 or 4 sophomores, about 4 or 5 juniors, about 5 or 6 seniors. So it kind of goes up as they get older in numbers. But yeah, it's about 14 or 15 right now.
That's good.
It's not.
That's
I mean,
4 years.
It's better than I thought.
Basketball's usually we have 30, we usually have 15 kids in the varsity.
We've had some, low years at that middle school level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe there's 3 straight classes that had like 1 or 2 kids. That's the
Wow.
freshman class and then 2 below, I think, in a row.
Wow.
That's a good
Because they weren't able to field an 8th grade team last year. They had 2
I
boys.
didn't know that.
And then 2 years before that, they weren't able to field it.
Wow.
I guess now's the time, and I don't say this in any way, shape, or form to argue for or against any activity. the gist of it is, we are 292 kids in this district and, or excuse me, in the high school. And kids today, as we all know, have a lot more going on than playing athletics anymore. There are a lot more opportunities. They are on their phones all the time. So when we have these conversations, it is not to put one sport over the other sport. It is, the fact of the matter is, we just don't have the clientele to offer as much as we'd like to
I think,
in a perfect world.
I think that's something that the policy and procedure should look at, committee should look at and develop something to present to the rest of the board.
Which I would agree with, and I made a little bit of a note of that on the, yeah, because we need that, we need.
Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of bouncing around, and if we can come up with something as standard as we can, knowing that all sports are different, but.
So do we have to do anything to make sure if there are those kids for swimming, that does happen for the season, other than, I guess, just approving a coach?
Oh, we have to line up.
Well,
Needs.
the first, yes, the first thing is we would have to post, if the consensus of the board is that there are enough kids that have shown interest, then we would advertise for a coach. And then if we were able to hire a qualified coach, then the next step would be creating a schedule.
Okay.
So is it the direction of the board to go ahead and post for a coach?
Well, I think that we said
I think if we have.
back in June, that
thought we
if
said five.
if they weren't a team, that we have a team.
Their numbers up.
And if they got their
Yeah.
numbers up, then yes.
So I
So,
say yes.
Mr. Mills?
I'll meet with Mr. Dolan in the morning, we'll get going.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, moving along to the North Side report card.
Motion is the Board of Education approves the updated North Side report card as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
This came to me last Wednesday, so I apologize if the feeling is I didn't follow any procedures, but this was kind of dropped in my lap. The gist of it is, and the Northside staff here is, we have a standards-based report card as it is, and each subject matter has several sub-subjects, if you will, on it. So the report card becomes very long and very difficult to understand. What they're proposing is we simplify that by giving a reading grade, reading fluency, a math, just a condensed version of the report card as it currently is. And they'd like that approved so they can get that out for next week.
That's why, it's my youngest.
I mean, I guess,
It's
I
gotta
don't
work.
know what we currently have.
It's basically like this, it's just formatted different.
Oh.
We're just trying to simplify
Yeah.
it because,
Would be-
for most parents, we're used to letter grades. So trying to read a standards-based report card is different already, and then complicating it and using the actual text of a standard
No.
Yeah.
is,
Which you can't understand anyway.
Yeah.
which is awful. So we're just trying, and if I'm wrong, you guys correct me, any of my Northside staff. We're trying to, the point of a grade is to effectively communicate to parents, here's how your child is doing.
Right.
And I think as we are using
That's what it
a
was.
standards-based report card currently as it sits on Skyward, it's very difficult to communicate effectively with parents. Here's what your child can do. So we're just trying to make it easier to have discussions about
Great
student
idea.
performance.
Yeah.
Is really what it comes down to. I think we've been, I don't want to speak on behalf of my staff, so again, if I'm wrong, you guys correct me, but we've been trying to fix this issue as long as I've been at Northside, trying to make it an easier report card to understand.
Okay, I think that makes sense. Any other questions?
Why did we go away from normal report card?
That's before me.
Okay.
I
Must been the teachers.
Anyway,
I'll say it wasn't the principal or the teacher. You can take a guess.
Did I already get a motion?
I don't think so.
This is a discussion item.
Yes.
Is it just a discussion item? I thought we were voting on it. It says
Items
action
action.
item.
Okay, I have the old one right now. This is one you sent out Friday. Oh, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong spot.
Okay.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Online.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Moving along to the FMLA request. I'm sorry, prearranged absence request.
The motion is the Board of Education approves the prearranged absent request of student number 262695032.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now we're on to the FMLA request.
Motion is the Board of Education approves the FMLA request of employee number NS7349.
Is there a motion?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Certified staff.
Motion is the Board of Education approves the retirement request of Sandra Bechtel as a certified math teacher at Morrison High School effective at the end of the 25-26 school year, and that per the current collective bargaining agreement, she be awarded the retirement incentive as listed.
We have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, roll call?
Angleton,
Yes.
Folkers,
Yes.
Pivotalson,
Yes.
Trombo,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes. Administrative support contracts
I think we do these
individually, yeah.
Motion is the Board of Education approves the contract with William Patton to serve as the district's Director of Technology for the 2024 fiscal year as presented.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Folkers,
Yes.
Pivotalson,
Yes.
Trombo,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Angleton,
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes.
And the motion is the Board of Education approves the contract with Steve Bechtel to serve as the district system administrator for the 2024 fiscal year as presented.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Pivotalson,
Yes.
Trombo,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Angleton,
Yes.
Folkers,
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes.
Motion the Board of Education approves the contract with Linnell Chris to serve as the district food service director for the 2024 fiscal year as presented.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Trombo,
Yes.
Wilkins,
No.
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Angleton,
Yes.
Folkers,
Yes.
Pivotalson,
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes.
Motion is that the Board of Education approves the contract with Kyla Hansen to serve as the district finance director for the 2024 fiscal year as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Wilkins,
Yes.
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Angleton,
Yes.
Folkers,
Yes.
Pivotalson,
Yes.
Trombo,
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes.
Motion is the Board of Education approves the contract with John Husenfeld to serve as the district facility director for the 2024 fiscal year as presented.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Angleton,
Yes.
Folkers,
Yes.
Pivotalson,
Yes.
Trombo,
Present.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes.
The motion is the Board of Education approves the contract with Andy Riggin to serve as the district technology support specialist for the 2024 fiscal year as presented.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. I'll second. Okay. Roll call? I'm sorry, discussion first. Okay, sorry. Roll call?
Angleton,
Yes.
Folkers,
Yes.
Pivotalson,
Yes.
Trombo,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes. The administrative contract.
Motion is the Board of Education approves the contract with Andy Harris to serve as the principal of Northside Elementary retroactive to July 1, 2023 as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Folkers,
Yes.
Pivotalson,
Yes.
Trombo,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Angleton,
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes.
Finally, the motion is the Board of Education approves the contract with Joe Robbins to serve as principal of Morrison Junior High School retroactive to July 1, 2023 as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call?
Stevenson,
Yes.
Tromble,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Stanhope,
Yes.
Angleton,
Yes.
Folkers,
Yes.
Fluffy.
Yes. Okay, and at this time, we'll be moving into a second closed session.
Well, let's go about it.
Okay,
Can I see you guys in my office for a second, please? Guys, you set your right roll.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's not like. Yeah.
No.
I was like, what did we do?
I
thought he pointed it out. I'm like, what do we do?
Yeah, that's fine, I'm doing that too.
So, yeah.
You ruined our plan, that's okay.
We talked Thursday, not at the meeting.
Hey, how do you turn this off? Anybody know?
$2,100 and it was
Unplug it.
Well, then,
I have a, I got.
Screen would be.